Hey everyone, it's the girl Regina coming at you guys with another video. I decided to do another book review. It's book review day. I've read quite a bit, so I've already, if you haven't checked them out, I've done book reviews of Into the Water, The Beautiful, Horror Store. What is going on? Okay. Once it moves around, I get a little nervous. And then I just finished doing Lovely War, as well as Tower Zero, and now we're going to talk about Athena's twins. Wow, mythology inspired anyone? I guess this has been a very mythical month, as is October. Oh, he's with me now. Okay, so, Athena's Choice. I do not have a physical copy, but I was able to get this audiobook from NetGalley in exchange for a review, and let me tell you guys, this book was freaking phenomenal. Let me just get the, thing. Synopsis. So, Athena's Choice is written by Adam Boostrom, and this is what it's about. Athena Vosh lives just like any other teenager from the year 2099. She watches reality shows with her friends, eats well, and occasionally wonders to herself, what would life be like if men were still alive? It has been almost 50 years since an experimental virus accidentally killed all the men on Earth. However, a controversial project is currently underway to bring men back. There's just one catch. The project has been sabotaged. So begins Athena's choice. When the police of 2099 are tasked with finding the saboteur, they receive a mysterious command to investigate the otherwise innocuous Athena Vosh. After it becomes clear that the young girl might know more than she lets on, Athena is brought in to participate in the official investigation. Simultaneously, the girl begins to experience a series of cryptic dreams featuring a ruined library and an old book containing the saboteur's true identity. And as the police close in on her prize, Athena finds herself on a journey of her own. Her clue-filled dreams and incorruptible spirit brings her face to face with a pair of forgotten truths about what happiness and gender. The world waits to see if men will return as Athena fights a separate battle, culminating in the choice that will define her and others' lives forever. So I have already written up my review on Goodreads, and I'm just going to move it off from there. So ladies, if you're watching, how many times have you said, ugh, I cannot stand men. Why do we need men? I wish men didn't exist at all. Our troubles begin with men. Not to be sexist at all. It's a thing that many women have said at a time or two in their lives. And so Adam Boostrom takes this phrase and makes it literal. And the virus is called the Y disease, Y chromosome disease. And so 50 years from before 2099, this virus kills off some women, all men, and transgendered men, which Adam Boostrom was very clear in mentioning. So thus begins a world that is run literally by women. You know, this book takes place in the Northern Union of the United States, where the president is female, everyone's female. It's all about female empowerment. It's all about feminism and how women are more capable of taking care of their children. Which, men are also capable, and I think that men and women have equal rights to their children. Like both parents do, whether you're in a heterosexual relationship or you're in a homosexual relationship. Does not matter, as long as the child is in a safe and loving home. Free from harm and danger. And so, Athena, she is getting all these weird dreams after being accused of stealing the Lazarus Project, which is very biblical. Lazarus, because it's mentioned in the Christian Bible somewhere. And so, this book really goes back and forth of what happened while men were still there. And these women are talking about how, there were their own experiences of living with abusive men or being sexually assaulted. By the way, trigger warning, sexual assault is mentioned. She mentioned that. And various other calamities, And then you also have women who are saying that I loved my husband, I loved my son, my father, who were excellent men, and I miss the feel of a man's lips, It's just all of these things. You have women of very different opinions, Some are who are for men coming back, some are who are against men coming back, again, for very good reasons, as they perceive it to be. So Athena's choice is whether or not to let men come back. And really, how do you make that kind of choice, I'm not going to tell you what I would do, because it's a very, very difficult choice. But what it does take on, and which I've noticed, is feminism, but hyper-feminism. I am a feminist. I believe in equal rights for men and women. I believe that men and women are equal, and they should be paid the same, and they should be treated exactly the same. And reproductive rights are not for debate. Thank you very much. And this goes for anyone. And so, well, yes, women today are saying, like, hey, don't trample on our rights, don't do this, don't do that. And it seems like that men, especially on the Supreme Court, especially in the federal government, state government, not all states, but some states, they have more say, despite never having to go through what women go through on a monthly basis. I mean, there is such a thing as a pink tax, where feminine products are taxed more. Why? Not trying to get political, sorry. But, as I said, this hyper-feminism, which is not not the right way to go about things. And, these hyper-feminists or extreme feminism is not the way to go about business, because they're only hurting your cause, And this is something that the book tries to explain in the guise of one of the women who does not want men to come back. She says, oh, you don't know what the world was like. It was awful. Men were corrupt. They were constantly taking our rights away. Blah, 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 blah. And that's not the way to go about business. You can't just erase one entire gender. and say, hey, the world is perfect now. Because then what will end up happening is that men will go around saying, hey, it should always just be a male-dominated world, which kind of is. They should say, oh, let's discard all women. Men are much better at making decisions. You know what I mean? So either way, extreme is not good. And Athena, sorry. She's very incorruptible. She has good, strong morals, and she has her own shortcomings. For example, she's always wanted to be an artist, but she has not been able to get a job in a museum. She hasn't been able to show off her work as she wants to. And so she takes up this investigative job because she's like, oh, hey, it's not my dream job, but it's something. And man or woman, we've all been able to say the same thing. Subbing is not my dream job, but I take it because it helps pay the bills. My dream job would honestly be a full-time teacher. One line definitely stood out to me, which was, every act of learning is an act of destruction. And in other words, knowledge is power. When you have knowledge, you have power. When you have knowledge, you are able to not only manipulate facts, which many people do, but you're able to suss out the truth and the lies, fact from fiction. And when you have knowledge of something, it means that you are destroying a belief in something, whether it's a systemic belief, whether it's an inherent belief. You are getting rid of something, such as girls' education. In parts of the world, girls are not allowed to have an education because certain men believe that a girl's place is in the kitchen, it's in the home, it's raising children, and focusing on housework, And, in America, and which a lot of women take for granted, is that we are not bound by these things, as the late notorious RBG has said, women belong in all the places that decisions are being made. But again, what right do you have to decide something for an entire gender? Which the story points out the men have been doing for a very, very long time. But then you flip it around, and women are doing the exact same thing. This also reminded me of this tribe in Africa. One second. Yes. The women of Umoja, come from, bless you, that's my brother sneezing, a separate Samburu villages scattered across Kenya's Rift Valley. Yet they all share one feature. They are the victims of abuse, rape, forced marriages, and fled their male-dominated community in favor of a female utopia. I will link the article down below. Yes, no one's going to deny that we live in a male-dominated world, male-patriarchal world, but as it is 2020, I think, especially now more than ever, the women really need to start saying, like, hey, we really, really need equality. We need to fight for equality, and that goes by voting, We have to be able to say that our voices matter. Because if we don't speak up, who will speak up? And then it also goes along with the He for She movement, which was founded by Emma Watson, or not, don't quote me on that, but says that the message of that movement is that men should also be able to speak up and say, hey, maybe women should definitely have equal rights. They should definitely be able to decide for themselves on their own bodies, especially when it comes to abortion. They should definitely be paid the same as men. So, yeah. I gave this book 5 stars. It was brilliant. Did I have anything to say? Wait, hold on. Yeah, my favorite part about this was the ending. How he left it open-ended. He left it open-ended. Sorry. Boostrom leaves the story open-ended, and he has the readers decide for themselves what they would do. He also mentioned how certain things in the story, while this work is a work of science fiction, there are certain elements in here that are much closer to reality. For example, AI, artificial intelligence. We have robots doing our bidding, like Google, Siri, Alexa. We, at some point, will be able to have technology implanted in us for various things. Human genetics, designer babies, being able to pick out exactly what genes and hereditary qualities you would like to have in a future baby. Now, we are much closer to this. In the next, I want to say, 20 to 40 years. Who knows? We're a lot more dependent on technology, as I've always said. And while technology has been great, I can also say that technology is also not great. Because it has, in a way, led to a dumbing down of society. At one point, kids used to know mental math, but now, because we have a calculator literally in our phones, are we really remembering our math facts? Anyways, I will leave it here for now. I am going to film another video, and then I'm going to edit, and I'm going to spend some time with my little puppy. Comment, like, subscribe. I shall see you guys the next time. Make sure to click the bell icon for notifications of said video. Bye-bye!